Easter is on its way, so let's decorate some Dollar Tree egg candles with some fabric paint.
Hey guys, it's Sarah. Today I am going to be taking some of these Easter candles that I picked up at the Dollar Tree. It's just little, I don't know if you could tell, the pearlescent egg-shaped candles. And I'm going to take some 3D fabric paint. I got this set with 30 colors in it. It's got all sorts of colors. It's got some metallics. It's got some pearlescent, as well as some fluorescent colors. Anything you could want in here. So we're going to play with these 3D fabric paints today on our candles. And as we get going, you'll see why I chose these paints. They give a great dimension and texture, and they are just fine on the candles. Alright, so let's get started. Alright, I've got all the plastic off of my eggs, and I'm saving the ribbons. I may or may not use them in this or another project soon. We will wait and see. But they're kind of nice ribbons, and with just a little bit of ironing out, they'll be perfectly good to make some little bows out of. Alright, now I've picked out some pearlescent colors out of my paint box, and for this first egg, I'm just going to do some polka dots on it, just to get started. And show you how, with the dimensional paints, I really like how this will come out. One, they will adhere to the surface, and that makes them really nice. Be sure we got this going. Alright, now all we have to do is just bring them down, squeeze out a little bit of paint, and pull up. And you will have your polka dot right there. I can add more paint if I want it to be a little bit bigger of a dot. Swirl it around a little bit, pull away, and there's our polka dot. Alright, now these, we don't have to worry about them running too much because they are a thicker paint. They do hold their dimension, so it will sit and it will dry so that it does have this 3D effect right here. You can see right there on the egg. It will dry pretty much like that. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go around with some other colors and just make various polka dots around the egg and leaving it to set to dry in between. So we'll just do some more of the purples. But not least, let's try a little bit of this lime green. I'm not sure how different it'll look than the goldish yellow, but we'll find out. Oh, that looks almost exactly the same. We're not going to go with that. So it's just this easy to wipe off this paint off of the wax. So no problem whatsoever. There we go. And I think that is just about enough polka dots on this egg. So we'll just set this down, let it dry. And again, you can see even the yellow, even though it was a little bit thinner, it really didn't run very much at all as I turned and played with the candle. A couple of them are just a little bit lopsided, but then again, they're just paint blobs, so you can't ask for more, but they did not really run, and I think the only factor in the yellow was that I did not shake it up quite enough. So we'll set that one aside to let it dry. Alright, for this candle, I'm just going to be making some freeform flowers on here just to give an idea of another way you can decorate these. And to do this, I'm just going to be laying out some squiggly lines. Which isn't hard to do with these. Alright, and I'm just going to be going around the candle in that manner with some different colors, making some flowers. Alright, so there you can see we have several flowers drawn around onto our candle. And we can go in and add just a couple dots to fill in some of the spaces, or you can just leave this like this. For now, I'm going to set this aside and leave this as it is. Okay, for this last one, what I'm doing is I'm just using this roll of tape to help hold my candle straight and level, because I will be taking this cutout and laying it over the candle while using some pressure. I will be outlining the peep on the candle. And if I do this right, it should leave an indent in the wax of the candle that I can trace with my puffy paint. And it looks like it's working pretty well. All right, and I don't know, there, you can see that pretty well. So there's my outline of my peep, and I'm going to go around the candle and outline my peeps on it. Okay, now, got all my peeps in. That last one is kind of crammed in, so I would probably, if I did this again, space these a little bit closer together. And the other thing I would do, in using this tape, I would put some tissue or something down, because you can see a few spots where it scratched the paint. Okay, and then while those are drying, I'm just going to go in and add their little eyes and their... Okay, now another thing you could do with these, if you didn't want to make them look like peeps, but you wanted to have the little bunnies on them, you could just take some white and just make bunny butts and leave the faces out, and it could look like the bunnies are all facing away toward the candle, and you just see their cottontails. Okay, now that the glue outlines have had a chance to dry, I am just going to go back in with my paint and fill in my little peeps. And I'm going to do this to all of them on the candle. And once it dries, these will be done. You can see it kind of self-levels as we go around. Okay, for this next one, I'm going to do something a little bit different. It's going to require letting the paint dry completely in between the layers. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is use some bright green, and I'm going to go around the candle. All right, and we're going to let that set for a few minutes. Then I'm also going to, that I've done that, I'm going to let this sit for a few minutes. Okay, now for this one, what I'm going to do, now that these have set up to dry somewhat, I'm going to go back in and I'm going to use some of the purples, and I'm going to make grape hyacinths popping up on the candle. Okay, here are our candles, and they are all done and dry. So here is the blue one with the dots. As you can see, that turned out really pretty cute. I like that one. Here are the peeps. I do not like the way the glitter turned out very well on the candle, so I wouldn't be using the glitter again. It's still kind of transparent, and over the pink it's just the colors for the most part are muddy, and so the glitter I didn't like so well. This one also I thought turned out pretty cute with the little freeform flowers on it. I like that one. It's just kind of springy. And this one with the grape hyacinths on it. I thought that turned out pretty well too. So those three I really like. The glitter bunnies, not so much, but I'm sure with a little bit of practice they could come out a lot cuter if I wasn't using glitter paint. So if I had stuck with just the outlines, that might be cuter too. But that's how our fabric paints turned out on the candles. So that is one way you can experiment and use your dimensional fabric paints in a different way other than just on your fabrics. If you like this video and any of the other videos that we put out, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you soon in our next video. Bye-bye.